This is the QTV Nightly News, and I am Loliam Kamara. Thank you for joining us. And a reminder that you can also join us on Q Radio 103.3 FM. Here are the headlines. At the opening ceremony of the inaugural Sahel Governance Forum in the Gambia, President Adama Barrow on Wednesday joined regional leaders in advocating for more unity, peace, democratic reforms, and regional cooperation. On Wednesday, former Registrar General Aliu Jallo testified before the Special Select Committee investigating the sale and disposal of the assets belonging to former President Jammeh that were placed in his custody by a High Court order. The Gambia Immigration Department's Director General Ibrahim Mboob has concluded a two-week nationwide tour of immigration facilities. In international news, today, the 30th of July is World Day Against Trafficking in Persons, observed annually to raise awareness about human trafficking and to promote and protect the rights of trafficking victims. In sports news, Special Olympics Gambia has launched intensive training for 45 volunteer coaches to strengthen their skills in supporting athletes with intellectual disabilities. Those were the headlines. Now the news in detail. President Adama Barrow on Wednesday joined regional leaders in advocating for more unity, peace, democratic reforms, and regional cooperation. They made the call at the opening ceremony of the inaugural Sahel Governance Conference, organized by the Goodluck Jonathan Foundation in partnership with the UNDP and International IDEA. Ansumana Esonyasi tells us more.
The two-day event under the theme The Future of Governance, Rebuilding Social Cohesion and Public Trust brings together regional leaders, development partners, and civil society to chart a way forward for a region confronted by several challenges, notably insecurity, climate shocks, and weak institutions. In his inaugural address at the event, spearheaded by the foundation of the former President of Nigeria, Goodluck Jonathan, Gambia's President Adama Barrow emphasized the urgency of fostering peace and stability across the Sahel. He called on regional leaders to work together to preserve peace, consolidate democracy, and rebuild trust, and thanked the Goodluck Jonathan Foundation for choosing the Gambia as host of this maiden edition of the Sahel Governance Forum.
This forum offers us a unique opportunity, therefore, to listen, dialogue, learn from one another, draw lessons from the past initiatives, and co-create governance solutions.
The former Nigerian president and founder of the organizing foundation, Dr. Goodluck Jonathan, called for regional cooperation to create wealth and tackle the root causes of insecurity. And as he galvanizes regional efforts, he cautions that without urgent action, the region risks deepening its development crisis. Similar remarks were made by Dr. Omar Aliu Toure, president of the ECOWAS Commission, who also used the occasion to emphasize the need for regional unity.
Africa south of the Sahara, they are all agrarian societies. And these areas, you must convert what you have in the natural environment to create wealth. And in these areas, the farmers farm for about only 4 or 5 months of the year. So the rest of the year, you almost have no work to do, no productivity. So people living under these conditions will surely be poor.
What all this shows is that some misgivings might surround the institutional frameworks, but nobody in either ECOWAS or in the 3 countries questions the imperative of working together for the benefit of the people of West Africa.
Also speaking at the forum, UNDP Africa Regional Director Ahuna Eziakonwa and Carl Frederick Paul, UN Resident Coordinator in the Gambia, described the initiative as a bold step toward constructive dialogue and cooperation in a region often marked by conflict and political uncertainty, adding that there is a need for greater investment in people-centered development.
True statesmanship is measured not by how long one holds on to power, but by the dignity with which one lets it go.
To reinforce, reaffirm our commitment to advancing good governance and sustainable development for the people we all serve.
There were several other speakers, including UN regional representatives, the Gambia's Foreign Affairs Minister Sering Modunjai and his Permanent Secretary Fatou Kiné Diop. Participants at the event include former presidents, vice presidents and prime ministers from across the Sahel. While the region continues to face challenges, this forum being hosted in the Gambia stands out as a hopeful turning point, signaling that leadership, collaboration and trust building remain vital for the Sahel's future. Ansmane So, Nyasi for KTV News.
On Wednesday, the former Registrar General of Companies at the Ministry of Justice, Aliou Jallow, appeared before the Special Select Committee investigating the sale and disposal of ex-President Jammeh's seized assets to discuss the former president's assets that were placed under his custody following a High Court order. Ma'am Nabuka has that story.
In 2017, following the departure of ex-President Yahya Jammeh, the Attorney General at the time applied to the High Court for an order to freeze and keep custody of the former president's assets, which was granted. Following this, all the movable and immovable assets of ex-President Yahya Jammeh were placed in the custody of former Registrar General of Companies, Aliou Jallow. Mr. Jallow stated that he obtained a copy of the order, but it failed to come with the document, which provided supplementary details on what he was supposed to do with regards to the assets. The council questioned Mr. Jallow on what measures he took to ensure that his duties regarding the assets were properly executed despite not being provided with such an explanatory document or a list of the assets that were placed in his custody.
Firstly, was to convene a coordination meeting with the stakeholders that were involved or who were to deal with the orders, execution of the orders. And that included, of course, the receivers of the companies, Augustus Prom, the livestock marketing agency, and of course we also invited non-receivers as part of the task force that was subsequently established, and that included the office of the sheriff, the security, specifically the soldiers. We had a representative, and someone also was there from the SIS. Basically, that was it, just to coordinate and know that we were supposed to enforce the court order.
The Department of Parks and Wildlife was absent from this important meeting, despite its significance following a directive from the High Court. Mr. Jallow was asked to clarify how the stakeholders present at the meeting were identified and who identified them to form this task force, and why the Department of Wildlife wasn't present.
The main stakeholders were identified by order of the court. The other stakeholders were identified by us. By virtue of the fact that other stakeholders have been invited, it's an indication that this is an oversight. Otherwise, there is no reason why the wildlife will be skipped. What is special about skipping the wildlife?
Mr. Jallow was also asked to explain what took place after the meeting and whether the Attorney General was consulted.
Immediately after the meeting, I did the memo, because usually before I do anything, I will inform the Honorable Minister. It's either sometimes we had a face-to-face discussion, verbal, but for most of the things, I would send them to him by way of an internal memorandum. As I said, I did an internal memorandum and discussed it with him and got his blessings, to go into operations. So we went into operations thereafter, and as I said, we started with the service of the notice to all the companies and individuals affected by it.
This Special Select Committee is set to continue its rigorous questioning as it seeks to uncover crucial information that could enhance accountability and transparency in the country's governance. Ma'am Nabuka, reporting for QTV News.
The Director General of the Gambia Immigration Department, GID, Ibrahim Mboub, has returned to Banjul following a 2-week nationwide tour to assess the administrative and operational performance of the department and to set the stage for broader institutional reform. Julden Jai tells us more.
The Director General of the Gambia Immigration Department, Ibrahim Mboub, returned to Banjul on Tuesday evening after concluding a nationwide tour that began on July 16. The visit allowed the DG to gain first-hand insight into immigration procedures, assess local operational challenges, address border-related concerns, promote community engagement, and raise awareness of the GID's mandate. At Denton Bridge, the immigration chief received a warm welcome from GID officials. He was taken on a conducted tour of the facility and briefed on the station's daily operations and key security responsibilities at that critical entry point. From Denton Bridge, the Director General proceeded to the Gambia Commission for Refugees office in Banjul. He was introduced to the systems and services provided to refugees and asylum seekers and how those efforts align with border immigration policy. Speaking to journalists, DG Mbub emphasized the importance of institutional collaboration, capacity building, and modernizing immigration practices across the country.
Why the nationwide tour? Since my appointment in March 2024, this is also mandatory that you as the leader must go out to see your staff, to understand the conditions under which they work, the logistical challenges, fleet, who are their stakeholders, who are those philanthropists, locations where we believe immigration should expand on. This was quite a very general issue.
DG Ibrahim Mbub also highlighted key lessons learned during the tour, emphasizing the need for stronger policy alignment and coordination at both national and regional levels.
When the heads of states go on to their meetings, some of the derived conclusions are what we need to enforce. So the executive directive on free visa is here, and of course we have the discretion to control. But internally we also contribute to the nation's security, and we are one of those institutions that you cannot exclude.
The Gambia Immigration Department Director General also visited the Gambia Ports Authority Police Station to assess existing infrastructure and hear from officers the challenges they face in managing high traffic zones associated with trade and international movement.
Gambian people, we are controlling the document, and of course we are fighting fraud. We also want you to join us fight that fraud. What is important to note is that we have a public relation office, and we have officers designated as community engagement officers. Should anybody find anything that is unbecoming of an immigration expert, our doors are open. Call us, get to us, and we will be able to find you response.
The nationwide tour concluded with a town hall meeting at the GID headquarters in Banjul, providing officers an opportunity to voice concerns, share field experiences, and suggest ideas for operational improvement. Throughout the tour, the Director General also held discussions with regional authorities, chiefs, and village heads, emphasizing the importance of collaboration between traditional leadership structures and state security services. For QTV News, I am Julden Yai.
We'll now go for a commercial break. When we return, we have more national and international and sports news. Do stay tuned and join us after the break.
fii mooy fan fii mooy Inessa di place bi nga xam ne moom la ñëpp taam place bi bépp xeetu ataaya bu baax rek bu dugg see ci dëkk bi xamal ne fii rek la am bara wërga bi neex na lool saf na ba pare tamit nag am gu bu neex boo ko naanee rek da ngay kontaan ci saasi añ ba suur ba gëreesal li nga lekk jëndal baara ataaya bi ndax moom la ñëpp taam gis nga sama client bi ataaya bu neex bu ne moom laa koy njëkk a jox ndax moom kat ataaya bu neex rek lay wër bara wërga bi mooy wërga bi gën te moo gën a saf kon nag ràññee leen ko bu baax kon daw leen gaaw ca Banjul foofu ca Inessa di place bi nga xam ni foofu rek nga ko mën a amee wholesale wala retail mu ngi foofu ci boori court house bi foofu ca Banjul wala nga daw ci bépp marché bépp supermarket bépp boutique fépp foo dugg rek di nga mën a am baara warga bii nga xam ne moom la ñëpp di wër tey baara warga moo dàq ci warga yi man maa ngi ci moom ndax su ma mënee ataaya moom rek lay naan.
We are more than banking. We build bridges that connect you to pivotal services every day. Do you have government bills to pay to the Gambia Revenue Authority, Comfort, KMC, or the Accountant General's Department? We've got you covered. From payment of customs and domestic taxes to GRA, payment of number plate and vehicle ownership transfer to Comfort, payment of property rates and business license fee to KMC, and payment of MR passport, business registration, fishing license, land fees, sale of assets, lease application, development permits, quarrying royalties, gravel and sand, mining royalties, and a host of other revenue lines to the Accountant General's Department. Walk into any of our branches nationwide and make your payments hassle-free. Either in person or online. Simple, secure, and immediate. With Ajib Bank, there is no need to worry about government bill payments for your vehicles, taxes, licenses, business registration, and any other revenue line. Ajib Bank, passionate about your investment. We've got you covered. Ajib Bank, your investment partner.
Welcome back, and this is QTV News. The 23rd Executive Council of the University of the Gambia Students' Union commenced a 10-day Students' Week in Tandaba in the Lower River region. Our regional correspondent, Bakari Balde, attended the opening and he filed this report.
This year's Students' Week brought together over 400 students from various faculties and schools in the University of the Gambia to recognize and celebrate students' achievement and foster collaboration and understanding among the students. The engagement serves as a platform for students to interact, network, and build strong relationships with the university staff and administration. Lamin Sanya, the Alcalo of Tendaba Village, welcomed the students and underscored the impact of the Students' Week on the community.
You people coming here, it contributes a lot to our community, not only to the camp, but to the community at large. Because why? It boosts the economy, and two, it brings a lot of partnership, and it brings understanding between friends and families. And when you guys also do your activities, some of the villagers will come and join you to entertain themselves. And the mangroves that you planted around the riverside contribute a lot to our daily life activities as the climate change is affecting the environment.
Mohamed Ngalan, the president of the University Students' Union, thanked institutions that helped ensure the successful hosting of the event and outlined the purpose of the event.
We have come to remember, to unite, and of course to learn. And this learning would not only be from within ourselves, but from individuals who have diverse knowledge and understanding on the areas that which we have identified in this year's Students' Week theme, which is UTG at the forefront in sustainable development.
Matar Conte, the chairman of the Students' Week, urged students to be law-abiding and make the best of the event.
Fellow students, I use this opportunity to encourage you all to actively participate and collaborate, learn from one another that sees this opportunity to share ideas, challenge ourselves, and forge lasting connections. Your engagements is key to making this event a success and advancing our shared goal.
Dr. Lamin BCC, the Director of Student Affairs and Alumni at the University of the Gambia, spoke on behalf of the university's Vice-Chancellor.
These engagements serve as a vital platform for students to explore various interests, develop leadership skills, and forge lasting friendship that will endure long time after graduation. The significance of Students' Week lies in its unique ability to create a bridge between academic excellence and personal growth, allowing our students to discover new passions, challenge themselves in unfamiliar territories, and develop the character that defines true graduates of the University of the Gambia.
As the theme for this year is UTG students at the forefront of sustainable development, students will therefore venture into different activities such as panel discussion on women leadership and role of men in gender advocacy, the root causes of unemployment, as well as football games, tree planting exercise, health talks, cultural activities, and community outreach during the course of the 10-day engagement. Bakari Balde, QTV News.
Good luck to them. Up next, we have international news. World Day Against Trafficking in Person was established by the United Nations General Assembly in 2013 and is observed annually on July the 30th to raise awareness about human trafficking and to promote and protect the rights of trafficking victims. Aissatou Berry has the details.
This year's World Day Against Trafficking in Persons is marked under the theme Organized Crime and the Exploitation, calling for urgent and coordinated global action to dismantle criminal networks and put an end to modern-day slavery. Human trafficking, which impacts an estimated 27.6 million people globally, is a serious crime in which individuals are exploited for profit through force, deception, coercion, or threats. Victims are subjected to various forms of abuse, including forced labor, prostitution, and other types of commercial sexual exploitation. This grave violation of human rights involves the manipulation and commodification of vulnerable people, treating them as objects to be bought, sold, and abused for financial or personal gain. The United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime, UNODC, has identified human trafficking in 141 countries. The crime thrives in areas where justice systems are weak, accountability is limited, and crime rates are difficult to control. Here is Amy Pope, Director General of International Organization for Migration, IOM.
At IOM, we're seeing one form of trafficking that's growing at an alarming rate, trafficking for forced criminal activity. Right now, across Southeast Asia, hundreds of thousands of people are stuck in online scamming compounds. These operations bring an estimated $40 billion a year, and many of those trapped are migrants, young job seekers, children, and people with disabilities.
The Gambia serves as both a source and destination country for human trafficking. According to the 2024 U.S. Trafficking in Persons report, Gambian boys are frequently forced into street vending, while girls are subjected to sexual exploitation or domestic servitude. In the Gambia, the National Agency Against Trafficking in Persons, NATIP, has taken the lead in combating human trafficking through awareness campaigns, training programs for security personnel, and collaborating with the judiciary. In 2024 alone, the agency investigated more than 20 suspected cases and intensified community outreach, particularly in rural areas where the risk of exploitation is greater. Despite recent efforts, the Gambia remains on Tier 2 watch list, meaning the government does not fully meet minimum standards to eliminate trafficking, though it is making significant progress in doing so. Here is IOM's Amy Pop again.
So let's make sure it's the traffickers who are held accountable, not the people they exploit. Because until we start protecting people who've been exploited, instead of punishing them, we won't make the progress we need against trafficking.
As the world observes this important day, it serves as a powerful reminder that ending human trafficking requires collective resolve, stronger justice systems, and unwavering support for victims. Governments, civil society, and individuals all have a role to play in exposing exploitation, holding perpetrators accountable, and building a world where every person is free from the threat of trafficking. Aissatou Berry, QTV News.
Up next is sports news. Special Olympics Gambia has launched an intensive capacity building training for 45 volunteer coaches designed to enhance their ability to support and train athletes with intellectual disabilities. And Sumana Esonyasi tells us more.
These volunteer coaches, drawn from across the country, will undergo a 4-day intensive training program facilitated by Joe Mutua, a Kenya-based trainer. It is part of Special Olympics Gambia's ongoing efforts to foster an inclusive sporting environment where athletes with intellectual disabilities can thrive, develop skills, and gain confidence both on and off the pitch. Addressing participants as they delve into various topics such as enhancing coaching skills and empowering volunteers to be agents of change, Mr. Mutua stressed the need to create a supportive environment for athletes.
Our business is the athlete, because that is the person who has brought us here. And after you have done the training, and you have gone to the field, and you have interacted with the athlete, then you will understand better why our focus is on the athlete.
Omar Toure, sports director at the Special Olympics Gambia, underscored the significance and expected impact of the training on volunteer coaches, especially in ensuring inclusiveness in sport, and implored participants to utilize the knowledge they will gain from the training in their everyday lives.
The coaches are not here to teach the athletes skills. They're here to inspire the athletes, develop and support them. So we are here to build a community that is going to change the perspectives of people. And we are here to build a more inclusive community and try to champion inclusion in the Gambia.
As they look forward to an exciting yet rigorous training program, participants Betty Gomez and Ibrahim Abba share their expectations on how this training will impact their work, especially in promoting inclusiveness for athletes with intellectual disabilities.
You need to be trained to know how to handle them. If you don't know to handle the kids, you cannot work with, and they're very beautiful special kids. So the training is really going to help me because I actually have the passion.
We are going to learn a lot, and the people that never knew about this, that attended it today, when they go out, they can able to sensitize this thing to the community, and it will become more easy because some people, they are having disability people, but they cannot, they don't know how to handle them.
The training, which represents a significant step forward in the Gambia's commitment to inclusive development through sport, by empowering a new generation of coaches to be champions of diversity and inclusion, is expected to impact many lives, with coaches returning to their communities to implement inclusive training sessions, educate parents, and advocate for greater participation of individuals with intellectual disabilities in local sports events. Answane Sonyasi for KTV News.
That's all we have in this news bulletin. Join us again at 10 p.m. for another bulletin. Thanks for watching.